Alrighty guys, I'm Casey and welcome to a brand new video here on the channel. Welcome to some tree farms. So if you're like me in your Minecraft world, one of the first things that you need to do is you need to get yourself an axe and you need to go down and chop some wood. Especially if you're playing in a skyblock. Like, wood is pretty much essential. It doesn't matter what server you're playing on, what mod pack you're playing, or what type of Minecraft you're playing on. You're going to need wood. And today what we're going to do is we're going to look at two different ways to get wood in Minecraft. I'm going to talk through a very simple, very early game one, and then one that's a little bit more in depth, a little bit more later game, but not too much. So the first one we're going to go to is the hopper bonsai pots, and I love these things. So these things are super cheap and super easy. For this one here, that you can see that there is a tree growing in it. All you need is 5 clay. If we have a little bit of a look, we can click in here and look at bonsai now. The chances are this is going to be in your pack, but if not, the second one will more than likely be in your pack. This is from the mod bonsai trees. So all you gotta do is type in bonsai, and if you see it here, you've got it. So we're going to be looking at, first of all, we're going to be looking at this bonsai pot. Then we're going to go a little bit more in depth, and we're going to look at this hopping bonsai pot. This is actually a first for me. I've never used the bonsai pot before. I've only ever used the hopper bonsai. But this is made through 5 bricks in a U shape, like so. And bricks is gotten from clay, and surely in any world you can either find this in rivers, marshlands, swamps, and even in the ocean in small deposits. And in Skyblock, clay is something that you get very near the beginning anyway, so you should be able to get your hands on brick relatively easy. And then we get ourselves this. And this will grow a tree. We just simply right click the tree, and there we go. But it's a little bit on the slow side because you got to wait for the tree to grow. And again, we only got 1 oak wood and 2 sticks. Now, I do believe that you can get a little bit more than that. Let's let another one grow and see what we get this time. And just see if it's the same. Oh, no, we only got 1 wood that time. But there is a way to change this. There is a way. And that's if we do this. If you look at this one here, you can see that it's growing and it's automatically being harvested. And you can see there's no additional blocks required. And that's because we are using the hopper bonsai pot here. And basically what that does is it automatically mines itself and then deposits the spoils, the leftovers, whatever you want to call it, deposits it into an adjacent inventory. In this case, I'm using a storage drawer down below. I should be using something with 5 slots or not using oak wood, because one of the other drops that you will get from this way is you will get the leaves as well. But there's not room for the leaves here, but you will get them as well if you were just using a... I don't know, if we switch this to a dark oak, let's just grab a dark oak sapling, grab ourselves a basic storage drawer, grab ourselves the hopper bonsai pot, and put ourselves some grass in it, and then grab ourselves the sapling, like so. You'll see that you only need to put 1 sapling in, and this is going to grow the 2x2 tree, so you don't need to put 4 in there. It's really good and really easy just for the early game. But this has been doing for, I don't know, about 10 minutes now, and as you can see, it hasn't got that much, but again, it's super cheap. All you have to do to get the hopper bonsai is you need the bonsai pot. So we need this with the clay bricks here. And then a hopper. So again, super cheap, super easy. A hopper is just 5 iron and 1 chest. And all you got to do is just leave it be. You know, you can set this up before you even go mining, come back and you will have the wood that you need. It's very easy, very quick, very simple. As you can see, we get some sticks as well. And that's what I like about this, is it produces sticks as a byproduct. And I don't normally get sticks in my world. I usually have to keep crafting them. It's nice to have them automatically made without too much of a worry. But like I said, this is on the slow side. And if you're like I am in FTB Revelations, no, not Revelations, FTB Ultimate Beyond, no, I'm confusing packs here. FTB Ultimate Reloaded, I'm going to need a lot of wood, and well, this is just too slow, and this isn't even in that pack. So if this isn't in the pack, what are your options? Well, as you can see here, we've got the option of the plant sower, which is this thing here. And this is going to teach you a little bit more than just how to make a tree farm. This plant sower is an amazing mod, because you can create a tree farm, or for that matter of fact, any other sort of like farm, if you will. Let's just set this to today. You can create a crop farm, a potato farm, a carrot farm using the same block, using the exact same method. And one thing that I should note about this, by the way, is this does work with some modded trees. It works with a lot of the Tinker's trees, which is really good for getting slime. But I've not tried the Tinker's trees with this, so I can't confirm nor deny that one with this. But this one allows you to create a farm in a radius of 1 block, ranging from 1 block all the way to this size here. And I haven't counted this, but it's quite considerably large. And you can see that, well, it's quite big. As you can see, I got a tree farm working over there. And again, you can click show the working area. So how the hell do you get this from 1 block to this? Well, you use what's called range add-ons, and there are a ton of these range add-ons. Range add-on, as you can see, we go all the way from this, which absolutely is pointless, but we go all the way from lapis, which is again very easy, all the way up to emerald. And again, you don't need the previous one to actually get the next one. So if I just wanted to go straight to emerald, I could. I just needed 6 emerald. And again, if I wanted the bronze one, again bronze, and then we've got quartz. And again, quartz is a relatively cheap material in the early game. All you got to do is go to the nether, and they are everywhere. So again, getting quite a sizable one, it isn't too bad. I use this one, the tin one, because I believe it's the tin one I use, because that's the size of your standard 9x9 farm in Minecraft. But that's just personal preference. So let's look at this in detail, and then we can get into how we craft it. So this is how it works in detail. So if we pop down here, you can see that I've got a item conduit going from here. Oh, let's get a torch. I completely forgot this. And light this up. As you can see, I got the plant sower here. And you just pop your saplings in there. You can pop different saplings in there. So you could say, you know what, I actually would like this one to be birch saplings. So if we grab some birch saplings here and we pop them in. Oops, nope, not on that. We could pop that in there. And if we click this lock inventory, that's going to lock this, meaning that when it goes through all of these saplings, it will keep one in the inventory slot so that you will always get oak saplings here and birch saplings there. And this equates to, up top, equates to the quarters up there. So you've got 9 quarters there, and as we'll look on this one. As you can see, it would equate to 9 quarters there. I guess the best way to show this would be to grab a range add-on. We'll go with, I think we'll go with this one, but we'll try this one because I could be wrong. If we put this in here. Oh, that's a little bit big, but that'll do. Actually, that's not what I wanted. Give me this one. No, don't give me this one. But never mind. It'll work. It'll work. So it'll plant like oak trees here, oak trees here, oak trees here. But here it'll plant birch and then oak tree, oak tree, oak tree. And again, you can mix and match that with pretty much any crop that you like, whether it be wheat, potatoes, carrots, or any various modded. This does work with a lot of modded crops, and it's really kind of good. But we're going to unlock that because I don't want birch getting in here because I don't really have a place to put birch. And then what we've got over here is we've got the plants gatherer. What this does is this works the same way. As you can see, it is already harvesting its wood. As you can see, it's getting stuff in here. Now we gotta do some stuff with this because this is going to fill up its inventory. And it's also going to fill up on something called sludge. So with sludge, you can actually get a sludge. This thing here, a sludge refiner, which will actually refine the sludge. Or you can get a boiler. Or not. I'm sure it was called a boiler. Let's have a little look. Industrial foregoing. There is another thing here that you can get. Water condenser, resource fisher. I should have definitely figured this one out beforehand, but that's okay. We could just take a little bit. Nobody is going to notice. You can use a sewage composter, I suppose, but maybe it is maybe it is. It's really difficult. This mod used to be called Mine Factory Reloaded, and now it's called something else, and some of the things are a little bit different. But yeah, I guess it is this. I just was shocked to see steel in it, in the recipe. But anyway, we're going to want to get that sludge out there. You can do stuff with it, but I just always usually pump it into here. Let's go to this. Pump it into a quantum tank or any sort of storage tank. And then if we did get a sludge boiler, and we were to pop that down here, let me grab some power. Don't worry about this power. You can hook it up to any power that you want. Let's actually just extract that and pop that into there. And what it's going to do is going to turn the sludge into various different things. Again, look, you can get your clay here. For various different things. But yeah, if you hook this up to an inventory, you can tell this to export from here. We're using Ender IO conduits here, but any sort of item conduit or whatnot, like the item ducts from thermal expansions, even hoppers would work. There's lots and lots and lots of ways to do this. I just choose this way because it's the way that I like. And this day doesn't seem to last very long, does it? But as you can see, that's the basic setup. So let's get into this one a little bit more, because you're going to need to jump through some hoops to actually get to this tree farm. So we'll go over here. The first thing that you're going to need is the plant sower. But if we have a little look at the plant sower, we do run into one issue. Because, sure, we're not going to worry about the one that says steel casing. We're actually going to worry about this because this is what it's going to be in vast majority of mod packs. This is just because of the pack that I'm playing in. I'm playing in Project Ozone, just because it has a lot of the mods that I actually wanted to showcase. But we'll worry about this because this seems about right for what we'll be doing. The pistons are relatively easy. You can get some iron and some redstone. Any cobble will do, and any planks will do. For the pistons, again, iron gears are very simple. It's just usually 4 iron. Sometimes you have to jump through a couple of hoops to get to iron gears. You have to start with wood gears, but this is usually the case. Or if you've got tinkers, you can make a gear cast. Get yourself an iron gear. Again, even here, and even here from Immersive Engineering, the metal press, there are lots of ways to get iron gears, but you can usually craft them either like this or with sticks in the corners as well, depending on what pack you play in. But they're usually very cheap and very easy to get your hands on. Again, flower pot is just brick. You get that from marshland, rivers, oceans, various other different things. And the machine frame is going to be the first troublesome part. You're going to need some glass, which again is gotten from sand. You're going to need a tin gear, which again is just tin here. Sometimes this requires a ingot of iron in the middle. Sometimes it requires an iron gear in the middle. But usually it's relatively cheap and just usually 4 to 5 pieces of whatever you're building out of. And again, this is always the same in every pack: tin, glass, and iron. Again, very, very cheap. But the issue we run into is this plastic here. You see, there are various ways to get plastic, but we're going to want this dry rubber. Okay, and that's what we're going to need for all of it. Okay, and to get the dry rubber, we are going to need tiny dry rubber. And to get tiny dry rubber, we are going to need this latex processing unit, which again is relatively cheap. You've got an iron gear with some iron, some furnaces, and again that machine frame, which is again very, very cheap. So let's actually just get this latex processing unit. Okay, so if we pop the latex processing unit down, as you can see, this needs 2 things. It needs water and it needs fluid latex. So let's worry about getting it water first, because there's a couple of ways that we can do that. Where is it? It's a conduit. That was it. Conduit. Let me just grab a conduit. You can use anything to get water out of a thingy. Another one of the cheap ones is again this transfer node here is very cheap. But we're going to use this, and we're going to use, is the sink in this pack? The sink is in this pack. So the sink is in a lot of packs, and this is a really good infinite water source. But basically, just hook this up to a infinite water source to get you your water. So actually we want to tell that to extract, and then we want to say insert. Alternatively, you could just pipe buckets into here. You could just right click with a bucket, but the sink is in, and if the sink is not in, a good one is this water condenser. The only problem with this water condenser is that you need some plastic to actually get it. So you can pipe water in here using a water bucket to begin with, and then get this water condenser. And this water condenser works very much the same way. The only difference is we need actually a water bucket here, and let's just grab a block of. Let's make a scalapi. This actually needs water, an infinite water source, so it'll need 1 on each side, and then that will start filling up with water. So this doesn't need power. This does need power. Okay, and I imagine that you've got various ways to get power in your world, but I'm just going to use a solar panel just for now because I can stick it on top. But that's only taking care of the water. We now need to take care of the latex. And how do we do that? Well, we need what's called a tree fluid extractor, which is this thing here, and this is very, very cheap. It's just stone, again, iron gear, which was shown earlier, a furnace, and a piece of redstone. Very, very cheap. So I need to actually grab myself one tree fluid extractor. There we go. And we're going to place this down here. Now, what we want to do is we want to tell this to extract. So I'm just going to say like extract from here. Again, I'm using these, but you can use any conduits, any pipes that do fluids. There's loads in the pack. I do mean loads. Again, I'll just show you a couple of some item. No, not item duct. It's fluid duct. Again, these are in most thermodynamics. So these will be in pretty much most, and they're again very, very cheap. And you just use these. But if you are using these, let's just grab some of those so I can actually show you. If you are using these, just be aware that you do need something called a servo, which is this thing here. And these again are very, very cheap. Again, it's just iron, some glass, and some redstone. And they work very similar to these, only you just need to put a servo on the end, and this servo basically allows you to control where the water goes and where you're pulling it out of. Stop giving me a blood moon. I don't want a blood moon. Set the time to day. Now, this thing gets its latex. This makes latex, as you can see, fluid latex. It gets it from trees. So you are going to need some logs, and I shouldn't do that. I should put oak in, and let's just grab some oak. And if we put this oak here, you'll see that it slowly starts to get worn down. Maybe it's taking a little bit of time. This doesn't actually need power, but as you can see, that's going up 1, 1, 1. Before going back down, if we actually take a little look over here, you can see we're getting latex. Now this is slow, but you can add in a couple more extras. But what happens if you place it like this and this is facing the wrong way? Well, there's a mod for that. There's a tool, should I say, for that. This crescent hammer, you can just right click and rotate these blocks. This actually will let you rotate any block pretty much. And it'll also work with these pipes, but it just allows you to do that. And then you put a log there, and it'll slowly start to break this log. It takes quite a while to break the log, but it will eventually break the log, and it'll get some latex from that log. So as you can see there, we've got some tiny dry rubber already. And a great way to do it is if you just look in your pack for, I don't know, placer. You've got this block placer here. And again, you've got all of these placers here. And again, another one that you can use is the user, the mechanical user, which is what I like to use because, again, this is really, really cheap. You just need some of this. You'll get this from mining redstone. You don't have to craft it. It will drop from mining redstone. It's a little bit of a rarer drop, but you will get it. And basically, what that allows you to do is use this as a user. And the reason I like this mechanical user is because it doesn't use power. And what we can do is we can just put this in here like so. Fill this up. Fill this one up. And then we can say generic click, right click. No, right click. And if we were to break these, does that not work? Oh. Place block. That works if you click place block. As you can see, it's going to place us our oak wood there, and then this is fully automated. So if we can just set that up, we can go ahead and do that, and we can ignore that. And that's going to produce us our latex, our tiny dry rubber. And of course, let's grab a crafting table. Helps if you put it. Oh, don't be one of those that closes when you press. I've played a few packs where when you press T, it messes everything up. So if we grab ourselves a crafting table, we can go ahead and grab ourselves some tiny dry rubber, craft ourselves this into a dry rubber, and then all you do is you smelt the dry rubber, and then you've got latex. And that's how you set up latex. And so now let's get into the actual tree farm itself, because we figured out how to get latex. The only other thing we are going to need is this plant gatherer here. So if we go plant gatherer, not in that one, in this one. This is a little bit more on the expensive side because you are going to need gold and you are going to need some iron tools. But again, iron ore, gold gears, this is all super easy. We figured out how to get plastic because we've got this dry rubber. from this setup over there. So now let's go ahead and fill this in. We're going to keep this one actually relatively small. Let's just grab a couple of things. So first of all, we want the gatherer. We want the sower. We want some form of conduits. I'm going to use, what are they called? I forgot completely what they're called. Conduits. So I'm going to use some energy, some item conduits there. We need power. Again, you can use any form of power in your game. I will put videos up soon about power, best ways to get power, stuff like that. We're just going to grab a solar panel. Again, you can use these simple ones. There are so many ways to get power in this game. I'm just grabbing a solar panel right now. And then obviously we're going to grab our saplings. We'll use, for this one, let's use jungle, because jungle is a little bit more of a rarer resource. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to decide exactly where our farm is, and we're going to want a range add-on. And I'm going to get the stone one, because I've never played this one, never used this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one block down, and then I'm going to take my stone add-on, and I'm going to pop it in. As you can see, it's only a small tree farm, but we'll work with just a small one this time. It makes things a little bit easier for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, you know what? Let's just dig this out first of all. And I actually want to. Actually, no, we'll run with this. We'll run with this. So the reason that I want to use these transfer nodes is because they're awesome. Because I want to use energy ones as well. So we're running with what I've picked, So I'm going to grab these energy conduits. So that's that. Okay. So let's just pop this here, and let's put this plant gatherer there. Actually, let's pop it there. Okay, fine. Game. I'll grab the crescent hammer. I did show this off. Jeez, game. Jeez, making me grab stuff here. And then let's put the range add-on in. So what we've done right now is we've got these both ready to mine the same area. So if I actually turn hide the working area off, and we turn show the working area, this is working within the area of this, which is exactly what we want. Because, well, this is going to plant us our trees, and this one is going to harvest our trees. So now we need to hook up power. So like I said, I'm running with what I've done. I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to link this up to power. So I'm going to use, for this, energy conduit, so you can use any source of power. There you go. But I do strongly recommend these from Ender.io, because you can place them all within the same block. So there we go. We've got power. Now let's actually go to the day real quick. Set time to day, as you can see. So now we've got that hooked up to power. But now what I want to do is I also want to put the saplings in here. So let's put saplings in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my item conduit, because I'm going to want to take items out of here, because we need saplings. We need saplings to go into here. So when this harvests stuff, it's going to harvest everything. It's going to harvest the leaves, although it won't give us leaves, it'll give us saplings, and it's going to harvest the wood. And when it harvests those saplings, I want to put it into here. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go right there, look. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take that down one. And I'm going to hook it up there. So if we go down here, let me just drop down here. We're going to say, okay, you know what, extract here, and I want to always extract from there. And I want to pop it into here. Now, because this can only accept stuff that it can plant, it's not going to try to put the wood in here. It's not going to try to put the apples in here. It's not going to try and put any of that in here. It's just going to put in here the saplings. But we do run into the issue of, what about the jungle wood? What about the jungle wood? What are we going to do about that? Well, we need to hook up some sort of storage to this. And like I said, you can hook up any storage you want. I'm going to use a storage drawer. I'm actually going to use two so I can show off something else. So if we go down here a little bit, and we put a item conduit here and here, right? We're going to say insert, and we're going to say insert, because I want you to put the jungle wood in here, and I also want you to put saplings in here. But now we face a little bit of an issue, because this is going to be getting us saplings, and it's going to have two spots to put them. It's going to try to put them here, and it's going to try to put them here. So I actually want it to put it here first. So we can use this priority setting and set this as a higher priority. The higher the priority, the more chances are it's going to try to put it here first. So because that's a high priority, it'll try to put it there first. It won't try to put it here first. But again, as you can see, this is doing. And then all we're going to do is fill this in like so. And as you can see, it is now planting the trees. And we can use just Tree Growing Simulator to go ahead and grow trees. It doesn't look like those want to grow. That's probably because that's within its range, but that's fine. It's okay. As you can see, we're now getting this. Now, like I said, you are going to need to extract sludge from it. So we'll need a energy conduit and some sort of tank. I'm using, actually, let's use a quantum tank. You can use a sludge refiner. You can pipe this straight into a sludge refiner. You can use, one of my personal favorites are these drums because they're in a lot of packs and they're relatively cheap. But just some sort of tank, any tank really. Or you can use that sludge refiner. And we're just going to pop that into there. I'm going to say extract always. And that's going to put us our sludge in there. And that's going to take care of our sludge. These quantum tanks are insanely cheap. And they are really, really good for storing stuff. You won't ever need to use it. But before I leave you, let's have a little look at the sludge refiner. As you can see, we've got this one here. This is, again, relatively cheap. It's just some gold gears, some iron gears, the expensive bit being the gold here. So you could get that relatively easily. And as you've seen, this has been running the whole time we've been here. And as you can see, we've got a bunch of just random blocks that you won't ever really have a use for these blocks. Really, but in mass quantities. But it comes in handy when you need some sand or some clay or just some random blocks. They're there. So it is well worth getting this sludge refiner. But at the same time, this is perfectly capable of doing what it needs to be done if you just pipe this into something. But yeah, so it's your choice. It is your choice. Let's grab a screenshot. But yeah, I think that's going to call it for this episode, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, please do consider leaving a like. It really helps out the channel, and I really do appreciate it. So please do leave that like. And click subscribe if you want to see more from me. Guys, I'm KC. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.